It's funny, people think if I'm using my own accent and it's a contemporary setting and in London, that he must be similar to me. In fact, that he's as much of a character and as much of a part as playing, Inman in Cold Mountain or Gigolo Joe in AI or, any of those characters. There are certainly, I don't know, there are certainly themes to his. I think I'm like him, I'm always trying to do the right thing. I don't often do the right thing, but I'm trying to do the right thing and trying to learn lessons in life. And so those are maybe similarities. I'm not as tidy as Will. He lives a very tidy life. I'm immensely proud to be in the category I'm in. There are actors in that category who I have been inspired by, learnt from, and have loved from a very, very young age. And to be in amongst them is extraordinary for me. In the past, I've been a little reluctant to play roles that would label me as one particular personality or character. So, but having said that, I don't know, I'm getting older and who knows. I know my kids would love it. It was a film I was very keen to make simply because it was Anthony again, and more so because it was Anthony's first original screenplay in, I've just found out, 12 years, and also because it was on a scale. It was a different type of film to the last two we've made, both of which have been epic and for far bigger budgets, and it was nice. I think we both felt this sense that we wanted to strip it all away and just get back down to making a smaller, intimate movie. I got involved because Charles highlighted the fact that Alfie, the character, this iconic kind of character from the 60s, still had a lot of legs. He was still incredibly relevant, that there were still Alfies out there, that this mentality, this sort of the inner language that you gain access to because of the device of talking to camera is still shocking and still revealing of how a lot of people feel, men and women, in those sort of intimate moments and about the people they sleep with or about the people they want to sleep with. It was exhausting. Playing him was exhausting. Charles insisted on this sort of energy of up and out and projection and positivity and strut and swagger, and it was one of the hardest parts I've ever played, actually, just maintaining that. Also, I suppose it was just the size of the part was, it was quite a physical endurance, but it was fun. He's a very cheeky chap. He's a naughty boy.
He is indeed, isn't he?
Still naughty in year 2004. I know several Alfie women, who can't commit, won't commit, bounce from one relationship to the next. Move on as soon as there's any sign of trouble or commitment issues or questioning about their loyalty and end up lonely. We met at work. She's a great actress, and she did wonders with a part that on the page wasn't hugely extensive, but I was blown away by her attitude, her enthusiasm, her talent.
I don't think there is any have to that goes with anything that one does. I mean, it really is, you go from film to film, and you go from, and in any part of the world, in any cinema, in modeling, in anything that you belong. It's what you want to make of it and what you want to make of the experience. So this was my first English film, Bride and Prejudice, and it's been a wonderful experience. So you really go from film to film. The film I'm attached to work on, that's Chaos, with Colleen Serrault as the director and Meryl Streep as the other actress attached so far. And we'll work away. It's really between director and actress to come up with how you can deliver what you need to deliver for the character, for the cinema, and how you can go about achieving it.
Exactly. To me, it's been very, very humbling to actually belong to the list, and I have to thank the people who have gone ahead and made that happen. It was totally unexpected, and it definitely was a moment of pride for me, for my country.
Coming here is a pleasure for me. Like I said, it's got incredible memories attached. I feel at home. The weather is great. It's a wonderful place. It is the mother of all festivals. I mean, that's the kind of association I, as a member of my Indian film industry, always did have for a long time until Devdas came here. So, and personally for me, such great memories attached. I mean, even this whole interaction of mine with the Western film fraternity, it really snowballed from the screening of Devdas here, with the incredible response that the media here and the critics here gave to the film, gave to my performance. So it has been quite a milestone really in my professional life. I'm an actor. An actor is open to cinema. Boundaries no bar. But obviously, I will never cast my Indian movies aside or leave it, because I am Indian. I love doing my movies. I am because of my Indian movies. And our audience has just been incredibly loving. You all know me by, I mean, wherever I go, like when I went to the Time 100 dinner, I was introduced by the number of websites that my well-wishers and fans have dedicated, and that's by virtue of our cinema. So, and they're incredibly proud and excited about the possibility of me working and with Bride, with the way it is done now, having worked overseas. I think just lost myself in the performance. I just thoroughly enjoyed telling her story. And I say enjoyed is a strange choice of word, but enjoyed because I knew the eventual destination, and that is the fact that this was her story being told to the world at large, to all the Deepaks out there, to all the Kirans out there, and really to the families of all the families and friends of the Kirans out there who probably would be otherwise worried, shy, closed, and not unable to come out and tell their story.
It is a fun-loving film. I've got the opportunity to essay a character like this after a while now, because I've been dabbling in different kinds of cinema, different kinds of characters, whether they be serious films or whether they be period films, other languages, The Negative in Khaki, Bride and Prejudice will be coming in future, which is in English. Raincoat again is serious. Shabd is a different, intense film. Well, we've been on a honeymoon. We've been traveling all over the place, but yeah, this is the first event we have attended, and we're traveling out tomorrow, so just for the opening ceremony. Well, this will be the most special because I'm here with my husband, and of course it is the 60th anniversary and the 10th of L'Oreal with the festival, so all in all, many reasons to celebrate.
No, I didn't get hurt. Basketball didn't get hurt, none of that was tough. Then, you know, we do some tricks. I jump up, hit the ground. I actually only fell from about 3 feet when I hit the ground there. So when I was jumping up in the wide shot, I'm landing on a pad, so I'm not really. And I've got a good stuntman who does the stupid stuff. I don't do the stupid stuff. I just do it where I make you think I'm doing the stupid stuff. A lot of guys that are getting into their 30s, even 40s, that are still living at home. Never left. And that's different than, say, in a Latin culture where you're staying at home out of respect for your parents and taking care of mom and dad. Sometimes now it's evidently economic reasons, and it's just for Trip Winslow, character I play, it's because he's got it figured out. Rent's paid, food's good, laundry's clean. What's not to like, you know? Just keep doing what I was doing, you know? I mean, because I guess that's how I got it, you know? I mean, just keep doing, I don't know, you know? I kind of keep laughing along the way. Kind of sure helps, you know?
Game playing can be fun, but shoot it straight. It's hard enough to go ahead and have a relationship work. Shoot it straight from the beginning. Go with the honesty policy off the bat. We'll know where we're standing. If it's not gonna work, we can look at each other and go, see you next time. Good luck. And if it is gonna work, let's go out tomorrow night.
Sure. Learn quite a few things, man. I mean, you're probably gonna learn a few things and go, oop, I've done that before. And then you're probably gonna go, and then, you know, there's a whole bunch of like easy to read, pretty cool messages in here. And, you know, one of them being, hey, don't play games. You're gonna sit there and play games, you're gonna outfox yourself, outfox the other person, and then you're gonna end up missing out on what might have been right.
It's twofold. I mean, we didn't necessarily get together because we were all Texans. We got together because we had something, some material that we all wanted to be a part of, and we were Texans. The two aren't mutually exclusive, and they're no coincidence, but it was something I was looking for at the time. Good story, good script, mysterious, suspense, thriller, horror. I haven't done anything like that before. It's dark, simple. It was done right, the pacing. It's gonna be very kind of languid and mysterious, and you never kind of quite know what's going on. If the best roles and the best stories could all be mainstream Hollywood pictures, I'd rather do mainstream Hollywood pictures, but they're not always that way. Sometimes you can, you want to do both. You can marry the two, that's perfect. But there's a feeling, there's a freshness that you get from going to do smaller budget films, and it's a very alive, blue-collar feeling of really working your ass off daily, breaking a sweat.
Exciting, especially because we shot it in Utah, and so there's a lot of my cast and crew in here, and I haven't seen them for a while, and they haven't seen the movie, and I'm just excited that we're here and that we get to show it to them. It's very important because I've been nominated this year for, I think, all of the awards, but this is the first one I win, so I'm very grateful to the German people. I think it was a great idea because there's all these films, and it will be a good way to introduce children
that are more adult,
to the film festival, to the festival circles, and it's the first time they do it as a gift. They had to charge something legally, but I think it's only like $1. So I think it's going to be very exciting for the children who never get to participate in the Venice Film Festival, and they live here,
so family
to
has
be able
always
to
been
participate for the first time,
Spy
and it's
Kids
just a
movies.
gift.
So for the last one, I wanted.
First, I heard my name and I was so excited and so shocked and so confused that then I see, you know, Pedro Almodovar, who's a friend, best director. And then it just like took my breath away. And then I see Y Tu Mamá También and Talk to Her, which is Alfonso Cuarón's movie and who's one of my best friends forever, and Pedro's movie, and I thought that was like best movie. That was the category of best movie. And then I just lost it, and I went ballistic. And then they told me, no, that's best screenplay, which is also like amazing. But I care profoundly about this issue because we are all victims of this horrible epidemic as long as we live in a society that has such high numbers. 1 out of every 3 women has been a victim of domestic violence. Imagine how many American families are participating in this epidemic. I think that it's very important that we all participate in the fight against domestic violence, that we make these people know that we care. The private sector is doing its part, and the non-profit organizations are doing their part. It is so important that the government continues to do their part.
I would give myself a C in every movie I've ever been in. I'm the least objective human being to look at my own work, but there you go.
Say, I'm the serious guy surrounded by fools, which is an age-old comedic technique. I think I'm very serious, man. I just, don't mess with Carl Hanratty. If there's anything to learn from this movie, what is it? Don't mess with Carl Hanratty. It's because I think audience deep down inside want to be the renegades that they are. They fancy themselves being smart enough in order to get away with whatever crime they wish to commit. I think that's why there's as many criminals around as there are, because they think they can get away with something scot-free. And who doesn't love a good rogue, Well, I can tell you, some of the best jobs I had, particularly early on, were jobs that no one else would take. So I was very lucky that everybody who turned down Splash had turned down Splash. I was very lucky that Big was a movie that they couldn't set up until everybody else had fallen by the wayside, and there I was. I was very fortunate that League of Their Own was a movie that came along and they had to restructure it, and I was the only guy available that could go out and do it again. So just being hanging around and ready to go off and do the gig, that's a substantial amount of it.
The last thing I would have wanted was to have seen the film and had it entering into my head in some way that would either censor me or would somehow inadvertently make me imitate the great Sir Alec Guinness. There's a reason he's Sir Alec Guinness, and what I wanted to do was try to keep myself as ignorant and oblivious as possible so that I wouldn't be stepping on anybody's toes, and also so that I could hide behind the aura of ignorance and obliviousness.
It truly was the role in the movie. Stephen wasn't even directing it when I first read it. Leonardo was involved. He had been holding on to it for quite some time. He had other directors were involved that came and went. I just read it as an example of the screenwriting of Jeff Nathanson, the screenwriter. I just wanted to see, well, these guys out there, they should know how people write. And Walter Parks, who's the producer, who is a friend of mine, I just said, is anybody playing this other role in this? Have you guys landed? Because it's a great role. And that's how I got involved. And he is a friend, and we had a marvelous, the relationship of working with him on Saving Private Ryan was truly one of the most, the most memorable of my career, really.
I still feel the same way about it as I did when I was in college, or I had my first equity card in my back pocket. It is the most fun that you could possibly have. It's invigorating. I feel a little bit more alive, I think, at the knowledge that both of us do, I think. When we know that we have a job and we're going into it, there's nothing that is somehow more exciting. It's never gone away. Coming to me, I'll give you the straight up. 4 more years, that's it.
Well, I learned how much I love doing more dramatic films. You know, I've been wanting to do more, and I've done some in the past, and I'm so proud of those films. But I love comedy, so I get so lost in that world because it's so fun to be in, and it's so positive to put those kind of movies out. But you know, the fact that Curtis Hanson gave me a chance with this, and I got to discuss character and do scenes that lasted for days and just really get into the work. To me, that was so fulfilling, and I just want to do more of it. I think I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I love Leicester Square. It's just the best, you know?
You are so cute!